Hello, my name is Shosh. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a psychic medium, energy healing practitioner, and spiritualist. And today we are going to be talking about one of my specialties in this work, which is past life integration work. This is work that I've been doing for the past 2 years and just now made publicly available. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about what past life integration work is, what it can look like, people's experiences in this, its benefits, and I'm going to be talking about a little bit of the past life work that I've done for myself. Past life integration work is the journey of retrieving past lives with the purpose of integrating that wisdom and that healing that you retrieve into your current life. The intention of this work ultimately is to bring clarity. This can also be for ancestral healing, ancestral pattern breaking. You can also heal other patterns or cycles that are prevalent in this life that maybe you're not sure where they came from. And we can also explore past life connections with loved ones in this life and see what other lifetimes you've lived together to better understand your relationship patterns. The goal of this work is to walk away with a deeper sense of self-knowing. Each past life session is incredibly unique, and we curate these sessions based on your specific intentions in doing this work. So we're going to talk about what some of this work can look like then. Past life integration work spans anywhere from one 90-minute session together to 4 sessions together, and the purpose of the longer work is a little bit different than the shorter work. If we were working together for just 1 week, we would use the Akashic Records method of retrieval to uncover anywhere from 1 to 3 past lives to resolve a specific issue or to help you gain clarity in a specific area of your life or of your relationships or of your behavioral patterns. I can do this work with just 1 person present, or we can do it with 2 people, and that's on a case-by-case basis. The amount of past lives that we explore is up to however many your higher self needs to explore in order to kind of resolve whatever it is that you're looking for coming into the session together. Some examples of this work that I've done with people is going into past lives to understand maybe your connection to certain family members or to your lover, your partner. Sometimes we go into past lives to uncover spiritual wisdom or spiritual gifts, and this might be, in your lineage and ancestry. This might be in other lifetimes on Earth. This might be somewhere else in the universe, because sometimes we also do tap into multi-dimensional past lives. One of my favorite intentions to set with folks when going into past life work is when we want to look at lifetimes where you've been your most empowered self, and to get to see those beautiful moments and bring back that sense of knowing into this life. The other method that I use for past life integration work is more of a regression style. So this is where we'd be working together for 2 to 4 weeks. In this method, we would be going back first through this lifetime in increments until we get back to your younger memories, and then going into past lives. The intention of this kind of work is usually for cycle breaking, is usually if you, let's say, have some kind of pattern in this life, some kind of maybe emotional, mental pattern, decision making, maybe it's like negative self-talk, something like that, where we would be pinpointing that pattern, setting the intention to retrieve memories first from this lifetime and then from past lives that relate to that wound. And so what we'd be doing when we go back and revisit those memories is actually doing the healing in real time and asking yourself in those moments what it is that you need. By doing the healing right then and there, in that moment, the healing actually has a ripple effect across lifetimes, and it will affect your lifetime right now. So when we complete this work together, the karmic effects of that pattern are released. So now I'd like to talk a little bit more about how past life integration actually works. Essentially in this work, what I'm doing is guiding you into a really deep state of relaxation where you are able to clearly access your higher self. We're doing this to skirt around the ego or anything that might block you from retrieving those memories or retrieving those past lives. I am acting as a guide through this practice, so essentially I'm guiding you through the exercise and through the connection, but you're going to be the one who's actually channeling or sharing the information that it is that you are experiencing. For some people this is very clear visions. For some people it's more in the body, or they might, hear things, or they might just know what happened. So for each person it looks a little bit differently, but with each person that I've gone back and done this work with, they have all been able to retrieve past life memories. I'm also going to be there to fill in any gaps. So if there is, for any reason, some kind of memories that you're unable to retrieve, or there's a block around them, or it's emotionally difficult for you, I'm going to be there to kind of channel in tandem with you. But my goal is to interfere as little as possible, or as little as necessary, because I want you to be the one recalling those memories and drawing that wisdom back in. If at any moment this process of retrieval becomes too intense, I'm also acting as a guide to take you out of that experience safely and make sure that you kind of come back into your body. Essentially, what we are doing is connecting you to your most core sense of self that transcends time. We all have hundreds, if not thousands, of lifetimes, and so we are doing this process to connect you with the most relevant lives that you need to retrieve wisdom from or heal in order to move past certain patterns or blockages or, ancestral wounding in this life. We are able to do this work either in person or virtually. Each session is 90 minutes long, and if you are doing multiple sessions, we're going to complete them each week in a row. So the way that I engage with past life work is a little bit different than if you were to see someone with psychic skills or channeling abilities that were just going to maybe do an Akashic channeling for you. Past life integration work, we are actually going back to those experiences. So it's a very bodily experience, and the purpose of that is to help you gain real clarity on an emotional bodily level, and to do the healing right then and there. That's going to be a springboard for your healing right now in this moment. By nature, this is pretty emotional work, and so I'm also acting as a guide to help you through those difficult moments, to help you guide through any emotions that may be coming up, and have any sort of release that you may need to have in that moment to let go of those emotions or experience those emotions. Being that this work is emotional, I will not work with someone if you are in a crisis state. This is just like any of my other healing sessions. If you are already in some kind of mental or emotional crisis, this isn't really a good fit of work for you. I have more information about the potential effects of this work on my website, and I encourage you to read that webpage. I'm going to link it below. Next, I'm going to talk about some of my own personal experiences with past life work and some of my inspiration for even getting into any of this. In college, I took an astronomy course that really lit up my mind about how time works, and it was coming in at a very synchronous time where I was going through kind of this spiritual awakening, and I was understanding more about all these universal aspects of myself, and I was, practicing meditation a lot more frequently. After I took this class, I got hired to work for a summer internship at NASA, and I worked around a lot of astrophysicists. I was reading at the same time this book that's called A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking that I recommend all the time, that talks about how time works. And in my time there at NASA, and in reading that book, and then in my spiritual experiences, I was starting to put together these pieces that time is not necessarily as straightforward and linear as we think. And when we engage with meditative practices, when we engage with these kind of healing techniques that actually go outside of our 3D perception of time, we are able to heal on a much greater level and outside of that linear time concept, that we can actually go back and heal memories and retrieve lifetimes that do ripple and have an effect right now in this moment. So after that internship and after reading that book, I kind of wanted to go on the spiritual end of things, and I started reading a lot of Dolores Cannon's work, who I would also recommend if you're interested in, learning more about past life work. In her books, she's recording sessions with her clients where they are retrieving these past life memories, and again, like having this very healing, visceral experience in that moment and getting all of this clarity in it. So when I read those books, I had interest to go back into my own past lives and explore. So I worked with two separate mentors to explore this. One mentor that I worked with, we did the past life regression method, where we worked together over, I think it was like a month and a half or something like that, and we were able to work in this life and then go back in other lives. And then another mentor, we went in and we did a couple past life sessions where we were tuning into the Akashic records and going back that way. Each of the times that I revisited past lives, I felt shifts in my body. I felt these parts of myself awakening. I was able to retrieve gifts, retrieve memories. I was able to heal generational cycles of wounding. I was able to visit my ancestors' past lives. I was able to visit interdimensional or multidimensional past lives where I wasn't human or animal or anything, where I was just light, or where I was just an organism, or where I was a being that I didn't fully understand. And outside of these sessions, I started realizing that I could actually take myself back into my own past lives, which all of us have this innate ability to do so as well. I was really personally appreciative that I worked with guides first to help me understand how to access that realm, and also to be there to support me through the emotional process of that, and having someone witness that with me and confirm what I was seeing. But since then, I've gone back and explored many more of my lives, and with the purpose always of healing and of gaining clarity. I don't really recommend going into the past life realm just for fun necessarily. I recommend going in with specific, clear intentions, because this is really powerful stuff. I also recommend working with a guide so you don't get lost or stuck, or you get really into this deep state of meditation and have a hard time separating yourself or bringing yourself back out. Since I've personally experienced the effects of this work in so many different ways, I took what I had experienced in those sessions and what I had learned in my own traversing of the astral realms and of my past life retrieval experiences, and I created my offering now, along with what my spirit team, my guides, were telling me to create for folks. So I've been utilizing this method of past life integration work over the past 2 years, as I've explained, with really successful benefits and effects from my clients who've done this with me. Every single person who has gone into past life integration work with me has come out with really significant shifts in their mental or emotional or even physical states. And they've been able to retrieve all of this wisdom that has really acted as that springboard for moving forward through their healing. And the other thing that you're going to want when going back and retrieving past lives is someone who can give you those next steps. What do I do now with this information? How do I move forward? Is there any other ritual necessary to kind of clear some of this karma, or to, help me feel grounded and settled afterwards? And so that's also where I'm going to come in. For myself, I have used past life work to help me with cord removal. I've used past life work to help me with physical body ailments, with emotional cycles, turmoil. I've used this work to help me with ancestral healing, and to help me retrieve specific spiritual gifts, and help me actually step more into my psychic mediumship gifts. So I know I can personally attest to the benefits, so can my clients. Like I said, I have more information and testimonials available on my website, and if you are interested, you can book on my website, and I would also recommend for you to schedule a free 30-minute consultation beforehand to go through what this might look like, if this is going to be beneficial for you right now, and to kind of set goals for this type of work together. Thank you for listening. Be well.